Welcome to my fragrance show. We'll learn together and grow together. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh Welcome to my fragrance show. I am Marshall's Blends Fragrance, and today is going to be day 2 in the discovery set of DARREN perfumes. And we're going to be smelling Vintage Novel. Vintage Novel. Can you see that? Let's check it out. As I'm reading the information for Vintage Novel, what comes to your head? You hear the word Vintage Novel, you think old book. Right? You think that. You think something like an old book, something vintage, and a novel. So what DARREN describes here and on his site is that he wanted to create the trifecta. You guys know that oud, for the most part, will be put in a trifecta, which will be rose, saffron, and the oud. And the three together usually create a really wonderful fragrance. People have dabbled with different other things. It's not that it has to be rose, saffron, oud, just that that's proven to be the formula that works best. And so that's what he did. But there is a specific nuance in how it macerates and develops. He says that it goes from being a oud, rose, saffron fragrance into being something different, like a book. He says it's like going into an old bookstore or an old library, and what you smell is the dusty pages. You know how you can smell when the pages have, you know, everything goes to dust, right? So the page is going into dust, and you can pick up that smell of old book and the old leather. So I'm interested to see how if that happens with me, if that's my experience. You know, not only is every nose like a fingerprint, none are the same. Every skin chemistry is totally different, you know, and even a person's own skin chemistry can be different from one day to the next, depending on what you ate, what you used to shower, what your emotion was. But I'm excited to see what it smells like. So let's check it out. So again, this is Vintage Novel, and I will be giving you, okay, so see, it's not spraying so well there. So what can you do when that happens? You remove this cap. That allows air to come in. Oh, it smells good. It smells like listen, I'm getting the vintage right now. I'm getting that dustiness right now, but I do pick up the saffron. I'm picking up the rose. That's what I'm picking up most right now is saffron and rose. The rose that they use here smells good. Let's see. So then there you go. So it sprays better. And that's what I've learned. I've learned when you have a sample bottle that's not spraying, oh wow, that's interesting. I'm gonna tell you, this is definitely not going to be for everybody. I can tell you that just based on the opening. Just based on the opening. But he tells you exactly what to expect. And let me tell you, what he tells you you're gonna get, you're getting. I am getting dusty. I am getting library. I am getting rose. I am getting saffron. I'm not getting the leather yet. I'm not getting the oud yet. But you guys know I love rose fragrances, so it's hard for there to be a rose fragrance that I'm gonna be like, I will never use it. And this one is one that I would gift, but it would be depending on the person. As per the opening, again, as per the opening. So this opening gets an immediate 25 out of 10. I would definitely get it for myself, right? So that's a 10 out of 10, right? I would get it for someone else. So that brings it up to the 20, right? 20 out of 10. It's one that I can see myself gifting a few people. But the caveat is that I would have to explain to them, you know, or just take them to the site, be like, hey, read it. What he tells you there, that's what you can expect. I like it. And I'm going to be able to give you guys a full wearing because this I am actually wearing to work today.
Dusty.
It's dusty and it is sharp. I like it. So I'm gonna let it develop. So I'm gonna read you guys the notes. So it's Typh Rose Essential, Typh Rose Absolute, bergamot and lemon. The heart notes are saffron, spices, tobacco, vanilla bean tincture, tonka bean tincture, sandalwood, white ambergris, Egyptian white musk, Indonesian agarwood oud tincture. Extended dry down is old musty library books, aged paper, ink, dust, mildew, linseed oil polished hardwood, damp basement, vintage leather bindings. That last part I find absolutely entertaining, and I do believe that there is going to be some truth to it. This one is a more artistic fragrance. It's not one that is going to be for everybody, but it is going to be one that would be for me. Yes, this is definitely one that I would rock. So what do I get? I do get the citrus. I definitely get the citrus. Clearly, as I stated before, I get the rose. The rose I am getting. I feel that this is a fragrance that diffused from off of your skin smells wonderful. You know what I mean? I like it. I like it a lot. For Martial, personally, this fragrance actually gets a 45 out of 10. But because I know people don't love florals and some people don't like roses, as far as being a gift, period, you know, that's where it settles. So it is 2:15. That means it's 4 hours and 15 minutes after I first put on Vintage Novel. I like it a lot. I think it's a very good, dusty, very dusty rose scent. The rose became kind of, I don't want to say it was a juicy rose. I don't want to say it was a jammy rose, because it wasn't. It stayed a realistic rose. So that's what it does. It goes from a dusty rose to a very realistic rose. Like the kind of rose that you smell and then you keep going back to smell is what it is. So it's a really good rose scent. When I stepped outside the house to come to work, it took on a whole other life. So, you know, fragrances are one thing indoors, another thing outside. This one really just blossomed and bloomed outside. Fun to wear. As the wind was blowing, because it's raining here, as the wind was blowing, I just kept getting hit with a wonderful smell. And then the projection was very good. It definitely is not as strong a projector as Sweet Repose is. It definitely does not perform the same as Sweet Repose. I would say it probably performs at half the power of Sweet Repose, but it is a very good rose fragrance. It's one that I would give as a gift. Again, it keeps its 25 out of 10. Of course, for me personally, I'm a rose lover. So for me, for Martial, it gets a 45 out of 10. But as far as gift giving, it is a 25 out of 10, simply because it is such a realistic rose scent that if the person doesn't like rose or doesn't like florals, they may not like this one. But that being said, it is a very good rose scent. I don't know which fragrance I'll be trying out next from the Darren Allen's perfume, but I am having fun. I am absolutely having fun. And I can honestly say it's 2 for 2. It's 2 for 2. I liked Sweet Repose and I liked Vintage Novel. Very good work. Goodbye, my lovely fragrance blenders. I'll see and smell you soon. Ciao, ci vediamo domani.